Hey, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to do a video review for my Arcade1Up Terminator 2 Judgment Day stand-up arcade. So in this video, what I'm going to do is actually walk you through. I'll talk a little bit about the setup of the arcade cabinet. I'm going to do a little demo, and then I'll kind of walk you through some of my overall thoughts and just what I think of this arcade cabinet. So I actually have a full-size man cave here. And to give you some perspective, I had this custom-made Back to the Future art cabinet done. This one is 4-player. But I really wanted to add another arcade machine to the room because typically I might have parties here where we'll have a bunch of people. And this arcade cabinet is actually very small, doesn't take up a lot of space. As a comparison here, you can see I have a almost normal sized window here, really about standard, and the arcade cabinet is almost about half that size. I've almost got a little bit of wall space here, a lamp, and this thing is still able to fit right next to a beanbag where we have our couch. And of course I've got my CRT, all my old games, my original consoles, everything all set up, and my PC set up down there, as well as of course the massage chair. So let's get into the arcade cabinet. Wanted to show you the full room first because I thought for those gamers out there you guys would appreciate. But getting into the cabinet, I had a friend of mine help me build this. It probably took us a little over an hour to do the entire assembly. Everything is very well labeled. You're basically putting together all the components on one of the sides first, and then you're attaching everything and kind of doing some of the last pieces towards the end, such as the screen, the marquee that goes through the top, and then you're hooking up all the pieces in the back and all the wires, which was fairly straightforward. We had a little bit of confusion around how some of the wires all sync up, but essentially once you got everything figured out, it was fairly easy. There's a plug in the back that actually goes into a base hole here that prevents it from falling back in. So it's simple enough. You just take this, and this runs a pretty long power cable, so you do have a long run here. There's also an optional stand that this sits on, so if you wanted to, maybe you had someone that was a little bit younger that was going to be playing this, like let's say a 6 or 7 year old, for example. Definitely don't really recommend that for a game like this, but let's just say you are. You could actually lower this, and it will probably be more to a child's height than an adult height. You can optionally build this stand, and then this will basically just sit on the stand. They do also include a kit that you can mount it to the rear wall, and that will give you the ability to prevent it from toppling over if a child was to pull on it. In terms of getting this up and running, you have 2 guns which were actually made by Sinden, so these kind of work with more modernized screens. I'm going to go ahead and power this on. You can see the marquee will light up, kind of gives it a nice effect. This loads into a custom UI, and you do have volume control right up here in the front. I'm going to lower it a little bit when we get this booted, so that way it's not overtaken. But it has a really cool intro screen. Does kind of their flash screen here, and then jumps into the actual game. So I'm going to kick the volume down a little bit. You can see it goes from basically 0 to 15. Now, once you have this set up and ready to go, you do have start buttons both here and here in the front. And then you also have this live button, which allows you to connect to Wi-Fi. So I was able to connect to Wi-Fi here that we have in the garage. And this basically loads best scores based on week, full, like forever. You can do competitive stuff against other people. There's also a really cool making of video that they show, like some of the people at Midway talking about how they went out and actually got to go meet with the movie producers and like work with some of the cast to make the game. There's other settings in here as well, so I'll kind of jump in. If you use this, the calibration I didn't really have to mess with too much, but overall you're able to jump in and may even need it here. I don't know if it's just lagging, but basically you can jump into these various settings, and with the game, and again you wouldn't have gotten this in the arcade, you have game difficulty, energy per play, the number of bombs that you're going to start with, the minimum time per play. You have an attract mode sound, high score entries, you have whether or not you're going to be able to continue the game after a certain time, rumble, and then you can also start on a specific level, which is another nice perk. If you get to a certain point in the game and you want to continue, you can just simply go to a different level. So I'll actually jump out of this and I'll jump into a game just so you can kind of get an idea. So it gives you an idea here of recommended distance. You have a vibration setting that's here on the side controller, which you can switch off, and then you have this button here which can be used for your bomb. At any time a second player can jump in, so you're probably going to want to stand about this far back. It just jumps into the game, and it also has an effect on the controllers. It makes like a chiming noise. So it gives it a cool effect. There's no like specific force feedback, but you do feel it a little bit. It's almost like a very mild force feedback. So now that it's in, it's basically ready to go. We hit start, and I'll do a little demo of the first level. But it's a very challenging game. This definitely was made to consume quarters. Once you hit that low energy level, you got to find power-ups and make sure you don't hit your teammates here that are using cover. But you can collect these bombs at the bottom, and then basically you see your bombs up at the top left, and you're able to use those in the battle. So pretty fun, definitely an awesome arcade machine. I really like how they did a lot of the design and graphics on everything. I'm going to go ahead and power it off. But I was very happy with how this all turned out. You have some really cool graphics all around the edges and the sides. You have this really awesome one of Arnold on the side as well as the Marquee. And on the other side, you've got pretty much the same thing. So overall, very happy with this arcade cab. It doesn't support any other games as far as I'm aware, but I think for what it is, overall, really good, awesome addition to any man cave or arcade setup someone's trying to do at home. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you found the video review helpful.